Welcome back, Magdalenes. And if you have not watched the base reading yet, I highly recommend starting there first because that reading really lays the emotional and energetic foundation for everything we're about to explore here in this extended. The core energy of the base reading centered around emotional fulfillment, new beginnings, nervous system integration, and learning how to receive the blessings without abandoning yourself in the process. There was a strong message about old timelines closing and new timelines anchoring through aligned choices, trust, embodiment, and grounded emotional maturity. So now in the extended, this is where we will peel back the layers. This is where we go deeper beneath the surface and begin exploring the soul level meaning, emotional undercurrents, spiritual guidance, embodiment themes, and what's unfolding both seen and unseen. We're going to go deck by deck and allow each deck to reveal a different layer of the story. All right. So let's begin with the Oracle of the Council, which is my deck. It will soon be ready for purchase, and I highly recommend everyone getting it, because not just because it's mine, but because it is just that powerful. All right, we get to look at the soul level layers of things. This deck tends to reveal the deeper soul contracts, energetic initiation, spiritual lessons, and timeline shifts unfolding underneath the physical reality. So let's see what the council wants us to understand about this energy. What soul lesson are the Magdalenes mastering right now? We have Archangel Michael, Warrior of Truth, Defender of Light, 444, Throat Chakra, Electric Blue, the Council speaks. And so you are learning how to stand in your truth, how to stand in your authenticity, how to cut those cords when you know that you need to cut them, and how to speak your truth. And just like that throat chakra is wide open here. What old timeline is fully closing? We have Past Life Lover, a love that echoes through time, 1212, Crown Chakra, Lavender Blue, Sacred Contracts. And so I think that this is like the over attachment, just because a connection feels deep and meaningful in like just almost like the chemistry way, doesn't mean that it's meant for your full future ahead. And I think that's part of the lessons that we've been learning about the different types of soul contracts that we have. And so it's not over attachment to any type of labels anymore. It's about alignment. Who is actually aligned with this energy that we now embodied? Okay, what new timeline is opening up for us? We have Light Body. Your frequency is your power. 777, Crown Chakra, Iridescent White, Embodied Light. And so, your frequency is your power. And so this is going to be different for everyone. So this is where you see where your alignment really is, because this is like your frequency is what is magnetizing the other harmonized parts in. And it's like, that's why, like, if your frequency is like a high vibration frequency, you are no longer able to probably tolerate situations where there's a lot of low vibration, fear-based kind of energy going on. And so what would be like the low vibration, sometimes it's just like people wanting to talk politics. And it's an unconscious thing. They don't see the fear that they're perpetuating in it. It's not that they're doing anything bad. It's just they don't see that they're perpetuating a story. And it's like when you've outgrown that, that level, that frequency, that fear frequency, you can't really tolerate those types of conversations anymore. And so like that's where you're going to see, where your alignment is. It's like, where is the irritation showing up and where is like the calming coming in? Okay. What does the council most want us to understand about this 10 of Cups energy? We have ancestral healing. You were born to break the chain. 444, root chakra, burnt sienna, the path of transmutation. And so this moment is like you breaking so many ancestral patterns. You did not just do this for yourself, you did this for your whole lineage. And so, like, this is something that is an actual accomplishment for you to be able to stand in this energy, even with all of this, surrounding you, this, Five of Wands energy, surrounding you, you're still able to hold your own in it. And again, that's what brought you to this 10 of Cups, which is like the destiny path life. It is, this is the life you've been praying for. This is the life you've been dreaming about. And so this is the way you protect it. All right. What spiritual initiation are we currently walking through? Surrender, let go, let flame, let God. 777, crown chakra, soft lilac, the path of transmutation. And this is learning, the parts that we can control and the parts that we can't. And so one of the things that we have not been able to control was the timing of things. We could only control the alignment that we were in, but not the timing of when, the things were going to start magnetizing to us, when, we were going to start seeing, the blessings, and all of our efforts starting to pay off. The bottom of the deck energy here is higher timeline. You are ready for more. 1010, third eye, sky indigo, and embodied light. And so, this is what it's about. It's like we really are stepping into this higher timeline here. And this higher timeline, it's requiring more of you, but it's giving more to you as well. Okay. Now we'll move into the wisdom of the oracle. This deck usually helps us understand the energy, how the energy is beginning to manifest in the physical world. Let's see. So let's see what's changing around the Magdalenes right now. How is this new timeline beginning to manifest physically? We have a leg up. Things are starting to feel like a little bit easier, and it's starting to feel like the right help is coming in at the right time. It's just like the right thing, the right moment. It just you may have been stressing a lot about, something financial, and it's just like the right moment, just maybe a bill shifted in some kind of way that like you didn't expect, and now then it's just got a little bit more flow in that one space, and then it's like you just start seeing it in these other spaces too. And so this is, again, that's part of that Nine of Pentacles energy that we're coming off of from last week's energy. It's because of your efforts. It's because of your frequency. Okay, so what external shifts are happening around the Magdalenes this week? We have loyal heart. And so this is where you're going to see, who your friends are, who is really, with you in this higher timeline right here. And it's like who was able to rise with you in this energy, because what I feel is just like, especially with that Five of Wands still kind of being there, is just there's a lot of people that didn't want to see the changes happening, and it's like they fought the changes even though they were like coming, it's like begrudgingly coming with you. And so now that you're kind of seeing like the true alignment of people this week. What opportunities are opening right now? We have Yang. So this is masculine energy, taking action, initiative, Things are definitely moving here. What are we being asked to trust in the physical world? Regeneration. You don't have to see it to know that it's happening. And so, this is the complete rebirth, and it's like the old had to be completely burned away. And so this is the phoenix rising from the ashes here. And um, it may be a messy process at the beginning, but I mean, it turns out to be stunningly beautiful by the end. Okay. Um, what energy is approaching us next? Community. So this doesn't just stay hidden or, to you. It's like it starts like flowing out from you. And so it's like your frequency is just really like it's expanding. And so it's like the more that you stay in that alignment, it's like the more things are magnetizing to you, the more things are working out, and it just keeps expanding out into like the greater, community around you. Okay. We're moving into Heart's Hidden Secrets now. And this is where we really begin looking underneath the emotional surface. So let's see what is emotionally unfolding underneath all of this. What emotions are rising underneath the surface this week? We have shocking. And so, I mean, I just feel like it's just, you didn't fully believe this was going to happen, that it could feel this good. Like, especially after it's been so heavy for so long, you didn't think that it would, like, the turnaround would hit just bam, that fast. What fears are still being triggered by this new beginning? We have time, and it's just, again, it's like the pace of things, because we've got this Knight of Wands energy just wants to rush forward, but that rushing forward is how we make missteps. And so we don't want to do that. We're pacing ourselves. We're going with the Knight of Pentacles energy, not that Knight of Wands energy. What are the Magdalenes truly longing for right now? We have running. I don't think that's what we're longing for. So let's see some clarification on this. Oh, clarity on the running. Why do they do this? Why do you, I can see that one. Especially for many of the feminines, that have, those emotionally avoidant partners. It's just, you want to understand why do we keep ending up in these cycles? Like, what is it that's happening? What can I do? Like, just some sort of clarity. And it's, you hold your standards. It's when your mind starts getting in those spins, you've just got to come back to like, well, this is the standard that I have to set, not because I'm controlling what someone else is going to do. I'm controlling what I will allow someone to do to me. What emotional healing is still unfolding? We have withdrawn, and this is just the abandonment wounds are still kind of being, they're just still so raw, and it's just like, that's the thing that we've got to like nurture the most when we start feeling, those old, like panic that surfaces of like, oh, you just start feeling like those triggers are hitting again. And we've got to be able to hold ourselves through that and know that, we've gotten through so much worse before. We've gotten through so much worse before. If this happens, we will act accordingly. We know what to do, but it's like, this doesn't necessarily mean that that's the truth of the situation. Most of the time, especially if we're dealing with emotionally avoidant people, it's not that they don't care. It's just that fear has been activated. And a lot of the masculines really are, the emotionally avoidant. Um, and, the feminines, of course, they fall into, that anxious attachment. And that's the wounds that we're working through. That's what all the healing was about, is so that we don't keep in that same tangle. And so if the masculine hasn't done the healing enough to be able to show up, emotionally, you're going to know it because it doesn't match your frequency. Okay. What truth is the heart still trying to communicate? We have healing. Please still be careful with me. I am still healing. It's like, that's why I said I felt that raw energy around that, abandonment wound. It's like, you may have done a lot of work around it, but it's still like, it's still trying to heal. I mean, it's just, that's the piece that I just kind of keep feeling just in my own chest. It's just like, as I try to feel into the energy, it's still just very tender. Tender is the word. All right. Let's see. We're moving into guides from the hidden realms. And I kept feeling this deck peeking through during the base reading. So we're going to trust that this had a message for us. This deck feels perfect for understanding unseen support, energetic alignment, intuitive guidance, and what's happening beyond the visible layer of reality right now. All right, so what unseen support is surrounding the Magdalenes right now? What unseen support? We have death reclaims a life, letting go the sacred quality of death, natural endings, and grief. And so I feel like that the old ending, and so this is the 909 coming through for me. The old life, and this is your old life. It's like, because we keep saying this in many of the readings, we are not the same people anymore. And so this death, it's your own. It's the death of your old life to make way for this new one. Because the old version of you could not hold this energy. The old version of you couldn't. The new version of you has fought tooth and nail to become this version of yourself that could. So it's just, we're finally releasing, and that, I feel like we saw the Ten of Swords energy, that it feels like it's connected with that. It's just like we're acknowledging the past for what it was. We're not forgetting, what it took to get here, but we don't have to hold it anymore. It's over. It's done. The new is here. Okay. What spiritual guidance are we being asked to follow? The mask we wear, self-expression, protection, authentic self. And this is a 33 card. So 33 represents spiritual mastery to me. And this is about remembering to stay true to yourself, stay authentic to yourself, and hold your standards. It's just, it keeps coming back to that same space, of like what it took you to get here. Remember what it took you to get here. Stay in alignment with that version of yourself that is the one that was capable of getting it. It's also the same one capable of holding it. What energies are helping anchor this new timeline? We have the emergence of hope, faith, trusting in a divine plan, all is well, patience. And this is a 44 card. And so, like, you have provision around you, you have divine guidance, and you have access, to all of this wisdom. you have been guided to this place, and that's why the hope is here, because you've watched yourself go through all of these different seasons, and you've felt all of these shifts, and you've seen all of the work, and it's like now then it's just the culmination energy, and that's where like hope is returning, happiness is returning, joy is returning, because you built your way here with that 44 energy. What intuitive nudges should we pay attention to this week? We have this and that are true. Open-mindedness, perspective, nuance, and complexity. And so this is to me, it's like giving space for people to just be themselves. Like let them have their perspectives and you have yours. And that's the thing about a perspective. It's like you can both be looking at the same thing, the same experience, the same object, the same whatever, just you're looking at the same thing, but through different filters, and especially if you're at the different frequencies. I would definitely not try to argue people with the different frequencies, but you could be looking at it through a feminine perspective, and they could be looking at it through a masculine perspective. That's two perspectives that we can even kind of compare here. Those are not the same. And so like one's going to show you one thing, the other's going to show you the other. And so like you've got to give space for nuance, that there's not as as finite of answers. Like this is also like not fighting to be right, just to understand the perspectives. What are we not fully seeing yet? Epiphany, seeing at dawn, aha moment, awakening, new directions and potential. So it's like the dawn is coming, and like all of this is here. The awakenings, like everything that you have felt unclear about, it's just like it's all coming. You've got to give it the time to reveal itself to you, but it's already on the way. Okay, let's ground this energy into the body and nervous system with the Sacred Forest Oracle. Because honestly, one of the loudest themes this week feels like embodiment, not just manifesting the blessing, but feeling safe enough to actually live inside of it. So let's see what the Sacred Forest wants us to understand. What does the body and nervous system most need this week? We have Spirit Guardian of Summer, expansion. And I have been feeling, that it's like, we can't be contained anymore. It's like we've got to be able to, let ourselves out, let ourselves free, have the creative energy, have like just be fully yourself. It's just like that's what I feel is like we can't restrict ourselves in the same ways that we've done before. We can't like it's making ourselves palatable for others. It's like we've just got to be ourselves, just be completely ourselves, and then have that freedom, like just to, because that's our frequency is the thing that's needed right now. And so like we can just expand that frequency out. How can we stay grounded while receiving this energy? We have Willow Spirit, flexibility. And so this is, okay, going back to this and that, being open-minded, not rushing, it's all of these things that may have tripped us up before. And so it's like this feels more like compromise. And it's not about letting your standards go. This is about understanding how to, fit like multiple personalities and life rhythms, together. What helps us feel safe inside of this new timeline? Water spirit, manifesting dreams. And the water is just always healing to me. And so I feel like that, using the water for manifesting too. And so and that's something I do a lot is every evening I will get in a bubble bath with the Epsom salts. And I mean, that's where my mind really just gets to go wherever it needs to go. That is so meditative to me. So I feel like that's part of what you're supposed to be doing is find a way to relax. Not if water's not your thing, find something that is like, just go out in nature in some sort of way and allow your mind to just kind of just drift into all of these different ideas and just let it just kind of get into that field of all the possibilities and potential for you. What healing is occurring at the embodiment level? We have maple spirit, generosity. And so I feel like a lot of us are usually the givers. And I feel like this is where it finally starts being appreciated and also returned. And so, this is, we're at the fall energy here in this. Well, it's a maple though, but the orange is reminding me of the fall energy. And it's just like there's almost like the giving back feeling that I feel in that. How do we avoid slipping back into survival mode? Wolf spirit, family. It's like you gather with like-minded. You gather with the like-minded, and that's sort of they keep you accountable. There's got to be some level of accountability for you. You can't be just a free drifter. So, there has to be some level of accountability. Okay. Now let's move into the fairy tale oracle. It's the fairy tale heroine oracle. I love using this deck because it often reveals the deeper archetypal story unfolding underneath our experiences. This reading honestly feels like the moment after a long, dark forest where you realize the curse may finally be lifting. So let's see what the fairy tale or archetypal energy we're collectively walking through. What archetypal journey are the Magdalenes walking through right now? We have wolf, and I think that's interesting. We just got this as well, and it's so this is the Little Red Riding Hood, though, that is showing on this, and so this is discernment. This is about discernment, and we talked about it earlier with the loyal heart. Is we're going to start seeing and knowing, who is actually aligned with us and who's not, and so like the wolf in sheep's clothing, or this is actually grandma. This is actually grandma. We'll see the alignment through the facade. What deeper soul story is unfolding underneath this situation? We have food. So there is nourishment here. You're not meant to just pour yourself out anymore. You're meant to be, fed back into. What lesson are we being initiated into? We have shape shifting. So being adaptable, but I feel like this is still, the main message is staying true to yourself, but being, adaptable, like what I felt earlier about where you're trying to take the two different types of personalities and the two different like schedules and systems and all of that and trying to merge them into something, cohesive. Um, what transformation is occurring through this chapter? Solving. And this is an 11 card, so it's about getting into alignment. And this is about working together, learning how to solve. And so I keep feeling that energy. That's pretty strong, actually, coming through. Is, like this isn't just one person. It's like you're both trying to figure out how to make this work while respecting, what each other needs through this. What wisdom are we meant to carry forward from this experience? We have the witch's cottage. And so this feels like that Knight of Wands energy kind of being brought back around because it's impulsive. It's like because it feels good, and it's like that's the old trap. That's what caught us up before, is because we didn't slow ourselves down enough to really think about, what's logically, like why would there be a gingerbread house in the middle of the forest? Why would this, happen in this way? It's like when we can start thinking more logically again, it helps us make better decisions, for ourselves to keep us in alignment with our actual standards. Okay. All right, Magdalenes, let's go ahead and ask a few direct yes and no questions surrounding this energy with the yes and no oracle. Is this new timeline stable enough to continue building upon? We have yes. A tailwind of change brings you intriguing news. This is a great chance to take advantage of your position. You conclude the work that you have started and radically strengthen your position. You are ablaze with inner strength and magnetic energy. Nothing can stop you. So, you've just done the work, and it's just like this is the part where it's it's showing. Are we moving in the right direction? We have no. Long-awaited events flow into your life like a warm, murmuring stream of cleansing water. It envelops you in a captivating sense of grandiose possibilities and significant changes. You don't allow life to happen to you, you allow life to happen for you. And so that's what I think right now. It's like we don't need to do anything. We just need to let it happen and see, where it takes us. Is emotional fulfillment truly available here? We have no. A whirlwind of intoxicating emotions overwhelms you. This is a natural result of your commendable efforts, your unsurpassed talents for communication, your rare ability to resolve any problem. This provides you with an untouchable sense of stability and comfort. And I feel like you see it for what it is. So it's like you don't let yourself get run away with it. It's not that it's not, it's just you understand what is sustainable and what is not. So let's go back to that, witch's cottage of like, if you come in and just like eat the whole thing right away, and it's like you get sick, you you get in the witch's oven. And so it's like you're not letting the emotion sweep you away, which is what we've been kind of teaching for the past few weeks, is that we can see it, we can enjoy it, and we can still slow ourselves down to see what's actually happening here and to grow it correctly. Okay. Now let's look at timing with the Tell Me When Oracle. And as always, timing is fluid because free will does exist, but this can help us understand the energetic window surrounding movement and alignment. So when do we begin seeing clearer evidence of this new timeline? And we got by this summer. And I do feel like that by the end of July, you're going to know, like, yeah, I mean, this was what all of this has been about. When does the emotional uncertainty begin settling down? And we have relax. This is not happening anytime soon, but let me see. We have August. And so I don't think that it means nothing happens, but yeah, there's still like things to be sorted out for the next few months. That's why we can't just rush. We've got to see what's actually here. When does the next major expansion point arrive? We have December. And so I feel like this is a building trajectory now. It's like by because I kept getting Lionsgate is, really like this is where that new timeline is so visible. And so I feel like that like it takes us a while once it's actually visible for us to really believe it. Um and trust it. And so it's like that's what I feel like we're continuing. The trust is the thing that is our next level of integration. So right now we're just seeing if we can hold, this standard and hold the energy that allow love and allow good things to come in. The next is, can we trust, can we just really trust that this is our new life and this is how things are supposed to be. All right. So, Magdalene's, this reading really feels like a bridge, not between fantasy and reality, but between survival and embodiment. And I think that many of you are beginning to realize that the life that you've been trying to manifest isn't asking you to become someone else. It's asking you to finally feel safe enough to be yourself. And that's powerful. So if this reading resonated with you, make sure that you like the video and leave me a comment down below letting me know what part of the reading spoke to you most deeply. And if you'd like to work deeper with me, all of my offerings, sessions, and resources are linked down below. I also have a free download available on my website to help you strengthen your intuition and learn the difference between intuition and overthinking, which honestly ties in beautifully with this week's message. So make sure that you grab that and join the email list so that you can stay connected to the Magdalene Frequency community and upcoming teachings. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for walking this path with me. Until next week, I'll see you later.